Aurora with Supercharged Science, homeschool science resources for and science curriculum for K through 12. And today we're going to talk about some of the common misconceptions that kids have when it comes to physics, specifically mass, gravity, and air pressure. And if you like this and you want more, if you think, oh my gosh, I even need more of this kind of real academics that are easy to teach, just with simple everyday materials, you can go get my guidebook from Supercharged Science. It's www.superchargedscience.com/homeschool, and you're welcome to download that as well. Okay, so this is something that happens all the time when I teach. So I'm just going to take you through it as if I was your teacher today. Ready? Okay, so we're going to talk about physics. I just want you to answer a couple of quick, simple questions. Equal sheets of paper. These are both the same. Now, if I take one sheet of paper and I crumple it up, that's the only thing I'm doing. Question is, when I release these, which one is going to hit the ground first? Well, this one, right? Or this one? Which one? Point. Okay, so I'll do it from way up here. Ready, set. Okay, so question is, which one weighs more? This is where the misconception is. A lot of kids think this one weighs more, when really we started with two sheets of paper that were absolutely the same, right? So I've got two sheets of paper. Here, look, I'll uncrumple it. It's the same sheet of paper. This is not a magic trick. All I did was crumple it up. Did I change the mass? The answer is no, I didn't. I didn't add anything to this. I didn't add more sheets of paper. The number of particles in here, the number of atoms in here is the same. Okay, and now I have one sheet of paper that is just plain and one that's crumpled up. They weigh the same, but they don't fall the same, right? So if I release both of them, the crumpled up sheet of paper hits the ground first, right? Okay, so mass is the same, but why does this one take so long? Did you notice what it was doing as it was coming down? It just didn't fall straight down to the earth, right? It kind of swooped from side to side. It's because we live in this sea of air, this ocean of air, this atmosphere. It smells good, doesn't it? And all it has to do is it needs to move away and push away some of the particles so it can gently settle to the ground. Same thing with a hammer and a feather. If you were to drop both of them in the earth, on the surface of the earth, the hammer is going to drop first and then the feather will eventually flutter down. If you do that same experiment on the surface of the moon, and actually you can Google this, you can find it on YouTube, NASA did this experiment. They took a hammer and a feather and they released it in an area on the surface of the moon which has no atmosphere. And they both hit the ground at the same time. The reason is, it has nothing to do with gravity. Gravity pulls equally on all things. It has to do with that we have this ocean of air and it's got to move some of it away. Now you can really bring this point home with your kids. By the way, if you like this and you want more, you want to go to my website, www.superchargedscience.com/homeschool, and there is a guidebook that you can use when you teach your kids. Okay, so really simple stuff, basic physics concepts, and so so mass is the same, but they don't fall equally, right? Because we have air resistance, we have air pressure. Now we also have another one. These are the same size. We have a ping pong ball and we have a golf ball. Now, do they weigh the same? No. Which one's more? The golf ball, right? So if we release both of them, which one's going to hit the ground first? Most people say the golf ball. Let's find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Try it again. Whoop. Here, I'll do it closer to the camera. 3, 2, 1. Whoop. Actually, if I do it further from the camera, you'll see it hit. 3, 2, 1. They hit at the same time, right? So weight doesn't have anything to do with it. Gravity pulls on all things equally. If I've got a bowling ball that is the same size as a giant ping pong ball and I release them, they're going to hit the ground at the same time. It's not mass that determines how things fall. It is shape. Does that make sense? Okay, so one other quick thing I wanted to show you. This is super cool. So actually let me put it right here for a second so it doesn't roll away. So if we have a ball and we throw it, it's going to fall 16 feet that first second. So if we throw it even farther and faster, it's still going to fall 16 feet per second for that first second, because that's the pull of gravity. If you do this on a different planet, it's going to be a different rate, right? So no matter how fast I throw this ball, if I have like the fastest pitcher in the world and he throws that baseball as fast as he can go, it's still going to fall 16 feet that first second. That's just the way it goes. So, okay, so if I can throw it faster and faster and faster, and now I'm throwing it so fast that the rate that it's falling back to the earth, 16 feet per second, is matching the curvature of the earth, Now that object is in orbit, and it will perpetually stay in orbit. And that's why satellites that are in orbit aren't just parked there. There is a magic speed, about 5 meters per second, that goes around the Earth once every 90 minutes or so. And it goes round and around, because if they go too fast, they will escape the pull of the Earth's gravity. And if they go too slow, they will slowly spiral in. Just like if you didn't throw this ball very hard, it will eventually spiral in and smack onto the surface of the Earth. Does that make sense? So, common misconceptions that mass has something to do with how fast things fall. It's not true. If you have a Buick and you have something the size of a Buick but it's made entirely out of foam, they will fall exactly the same rate. I hope this has been helpful. If you like this and you want more, I'm actually doing a free class in marine biology. To get to that class, you go to www.superchargedscience.com, so superchargedscience.com/ocean. So www.superchargedscience.com/ocean, and you can sign up, you can register for the free class in marine biology. And if you like that and you want more classes, or you like that but you can't make the date or time, sign up anyway, and you'll get on my private email list where I give you invitations to future classes. This year we've got new classes in cellular biology. We've got in weather and atmospheres, thermodynamics, robotics, chemistry, physics, you name it. We've got a ton of free classes. We tend to do 1 or 2 a month, and so you want to make sure you get on that list. You get those personal invitations from me. I hope this has been helpful. Have fun out there with your kids, and I will see you in the lab.